Approaching the start of your third campaign here, so what are your emotions ahead of the season?
Many emotions, if I'm honest. Of course, still proud of the last season of what we've achieved, but right now also already in the tunnel and concentrate and focus on what is a big challenge to establish this amazing club in the top flight of English football. So of course we had this great scenes also on the open bus tour and the celebration with our supporters. But right now we also know that also some challenging times will be ahead, and we can't be too high after a good result, also not too low after perhaps a setback. Anyhow, we know it will be a long road, and we play some of the best teams in the world, many of the top players, and it's a big challenge. The last years have proven this. To be able, as a newly promoted side, to retain this status, to be allowed also in the upcoming season, then to play in the following season, to play in the Premier League. And for that, yes, already in work mode, focused, concentrated, excited. Yeah, great home game as a first game, Monday Night Football. We're looking forward to have it, but yeah, many emotions, I would say.
So with a club this size, there's always pressure.
Yeah.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yes,
Can you enjoy it?
Yes, of course. So this club is really mental. I remember my day in Dublin, and there was so much positivity in the morning. But I met, I think, 4 or 5 supporters in front of the stadium. And normally you would ask, Daniel, do you think we have a chance for survival? Everyone was asking me, Daniel, do you think we make it into the Champions League? And you think, Jesus, anyhow. So expectations are really high. But this is also what you're looking for as a player and also a manager, to work and to play for a club where it really matters, and where the club matters so much to each and every human being who is connected with this club, and you feel the responsibility, and also you're unbelievably grateful that you are allowed to work for this club, and you want to give something back and give some joy back. Yes, step by step. So I'm not thinking about Europe, I promise. So I'm just thinking about how can we make sure that we break this curse that all the other newly promoted sides had in the last years. Most of them were already relegated in February or March. Anyhow, pretty hopeless, if I'm honest. We want to be the first team and the first club who breaks this curse, and we're trying everything right now also to get the competitive squad. We're trying everything to prepare the squad in the best possible way, and also to make sure that we use the upcoming 38 games in order to win the necessary points to stay in this league. So for that, yes, we are all excited, but we also know it's a big challenge, but we're also desperately highly motivated in order to make it happen, that we establish this club back in the top flight of English football.
I think it's a different challenge, because last season we expected to win every game.
Yes.
Now we're expected to be kind of the underdog. Can we use that to our favour this season?
We will see. The approach is definitely, last season, whenever you were there was a draw, it felt a bit like a loss for most of us. And this time around, you need a 1-point average per game in order to stay in this league. So it means each every draw is normally a good result. That doesn't mean we go into the game and just want to draw it. We won't change our DNA. We will go wherever we go and against each every opponent in order to win this game. But also to make sure, if we can't win it, then to make sure that we at least draw it and take something out of the game. So I think, yes, it's a bit different mindset, definitely, because it's not like the last season. I think from the last 30 games we just lost 1, I think. So it will be more challenging during this season, but nevertheless our approach and our DNA won't change. And perhaps we can also surprise a few people, and also know most of the pundits don't back us to stay in this league anyhow. So we also want to surprise them. And I think together with our fantastic supporters and with this group, we have a great spirit also within the group. If we're really on it and stick together also through the difficult and challenging times that I'm sure will come during the upcoming season, if we stick together and still stay believers even when there is a little setback, then I'm pretty sure we have also everything what is necessary in order to stay in this.
So tactically, a lot of time we played 4-2-3-1. We had 70% possession. What the changes for this coming season? Because that won't be the same. We won't have all that possession.
Yes, that's right. But if you expect right now me to park the bus and to put the ball on the stand or over the stand into the next river anyhow, I will disappoint you, because my believings about football won't change, and my DNA is always I want to play the game in the sense where I think the game should be played. I want to be as much as possible the protagonist on the pitch. I want to have the ball, so we're not just, once we started to play football, it's not just like we want to shift against the ball. We want to have the ball and want to enjoy what we do with the ball. We want to create chances, want to score goals, want to win football games, instead of just parking the bus and hoping for somehow a deflected strike or a deflected set piece or whatever. So our approach in general won't change that much, or at least not our believings, but not in a naive way. So we know that as a newly promoted side, it's not like you travel to the likes of Liverpool or Man City or Arsenal and you dominate 70-80% possession. So we know that there will also be teams who have a special quality, and there will be periods in each and every game where we have to accept also their quality, and we need then in this period also a good structure. We need to be compact, we need to be rock solid against the ball, we need to have a good defending unit, and also the physicality that is necessary. So we're not naive. We know that we have to adapt, of course, the style a little bit, but not just because we believe, okay, just parking the bus will help, just because we accept also the quality of the opponent, that we need also in some periods show some steel and some other ingredients. But we are aware of this, and also the signings went into this directions, and we are also prepared that we have to defend perhaps even a bit more, yes, and sometimes even a bit deeper than we were used to it in the last season. But it will never take away that we want to score goals and that we want to be made for attacking, and also that we want to have the ball. So a good balance, I think, is the key.
I think the window so far, you mentioned physicality there, so we've clearly gone for physical players. Me at 5'9", I may not get signed.
You in your prime, Tony, you would always have a player.
I was waiting for that
Definitely,
answer.
sure.
That's very good. Yeah.
Definitely.
But do you think so? Physicality, do you think that's something that we needed to have more of in the Premier League?
Yes, but I don't want to play basketball with them. So we have not signed, for example, Anton Stach because he's such a tall player. We've signed him because he's such a top player. So we've shown this, for example, also in the last game against AC Milan. Top on the ball, good decisions, good tackler, so he can win balls and can score goals, can play proper passes. So it's not like we had the ball from side to side when we want to play football. And this is also more or less in each and every of our signings. But you also have to adapt to the reality. We expect, of course, there will be a few more crosses into our box than it was perhaps on championship level. And of course, the importance to defend set pieces will be even more crucial on Premier League level, because I think on championship level we had games where the opponent didn't have one corner against us. I'm pretty sure that whatever Man City or Liverpool sometimes will have a corner against us. So we also need to be ready for these challenges. And with a pretty small group last season, and for that we also wanted to add some physicality. But we still have the likes of Daniel James, of Willie Gnonto, of Brandon Aronson, and a good mix is always important. So we will still play football and not basketball. And also all the signings, anyhow, also Sean Longstaff, anyhow, so good on the ball, can score goals. So all the signings that we had are also because they are really, really good football players, and not just because they can head the ball. Heading the ball is one aspect, but not the only aspect. That's definitely for sure.
So you're in the dressing room an hour before the game against Everton. What's going through your mind?
I'm not sure. So because I prepare my team also in a hopefully best possible way, and also pretty hopefully thoughtful and a bit academical, and they should be prepared in the best possible way, and also to give some clear advice what they want to do. But my last words in the dressing room is more like the gut feeling. Sometimes you got the feeling, come on, they need a bit more motivation or arm around the shoulder. Sometimes, they need to be fired up a little bit more. And I can't tell you about the final speech in the dressing room right now. You need to feel it a bit. Sometimes the team is a bit nervous, and then you have to calm them down. Sometimes you need to fire them up. So it will be pretty spontaneous, the last speech. But this is also what comes down with experience as a coach. And more or less, meanwhile, I would back myself that I also know what my players need then. And this is quite often a spontaneous decision, but how we prepare for the Everton game in general, I think this is already ready. And then the final words, we will see.
So to stay up, I think at Ellen Road, I think making it a fortress as best we can. It's going to be so important. And the fans as well are going to be that 12th man. Do you feel they really can help you this season?
Yes, we need this. We know that the biggest asset of this club are the supporters, and it's our biggest strength. And like you mentioned, especially for a newly promoted side, Elland Road has to be a fortress. It's also important that I also expect that last season we have won more or less each every home game. I'm pretty sure when we face top side that there are also challenging periods during the game, and it's important that also in these periods our supports are there for us and we are one unit even through the difficult times. And this will be also quite challenging for our supports because they were used to win more or less each every game in the last 2 years. I think, of course, we would like to do the same, and if we do so, yeah, then happy days. But I expect it will be more difficult, and also that we sometimes, yeah, have to accept the value of a draw, for example, as well, or the value of if you're 1-0 down and you have to stick in the game just in order perhaps then to turn the game in the last moments of the game. So during this difficult times, it's also important that we have the backing. But I think our supporters have a great feeling and also a good sense of what we need. And if they can help us more or less like to be really strong and show the steel, then we have a good chance of all together creating a special season where we then at the end are also, yeah, more or less the first side since really a few years who can, as a newly promoted side, also stay in this league.
So final question, what's your message to the fans for the season ahead?
Enjoy the ride, enjoy the times, be excited, be overexcited, no problem, but even during the difficult times, stay a believer and stay together and stay united. Let's will work their socks off in order to achieve what we want to achieve. So we can't guarantee that, yeah, after 3 or 4 game days we have already so many points that it will be an easy cruise. But what I can guarantee is that this group of players will try their best till the last and final day of the season. And if we all stay strong and all believe, I'm pretty sure in the end we'll make it and we'll stay in this league.
I'm a believer, Daniel.
That's good, Tony.
Good luck. Good luck.